Hello, dear students. Welcome back to another video with me, which is Ahmad. It's been a long time that we did not record any videos. I missed you. I don't know whether you missed me or not. I hope that you missed me and my videos, actually. All right, so there are some guests today. You cannot see them. Unfortunately, they are from like one of the classes that I teach them. Well, let's not make the video longer than this. Today, we're going to talk about the fourth section of chapter 2 of our 10th grade book under the title of Solving Quadratic Equation by Completing Square. Well, basically, this section made up of two parts. In the first part, we are going to talk about the vertex form of quadratic equation that's based on this book that right now we follow. It's called standard form. And the second part, which is solving quadratic equation by using completing the square method. You have studied like in previous grade, which is grade 9. And then at the end, we are going to make difference between standard form, which is the vertex form, and the general form of quadratic equation. This is all that you need to know at the end of this video. So let's just go to the first slide and see what do we have over there. Yeah. Standard form in completing square. We have got some steps in order to write a quadratic equation in vertex form. So based on these steps, if you follow these steps, we are going to like easily turn or convert a quadratic equation into vertex form. All right. I will come up with this with like the purpose of calling this form vertex. During the questions when we solve them, I will just mention the reason behind. So, let's see whether we have got a question over here or not. Yeah, let's get our pen, just like always. The size, yeah, it's perfect. And the color, red, make everything clear here on this white screen. So, to write a quadratic equation in standard form, imagine right now it's final exam and you are facing this question, all right? You're just going to face this question. Write the given polynomial. What polynomial? This is a polynomial. X squared plus 6x plus 7. What kind of polynomial is this? Perfect. Quadratic formula. Quadratic polynomial. Why? Because the degree is 2. The question is write the given polynomial in form of x minus h powered by 2 plus k. So what do we call this one? It's called standard form, or as I already actually taught like my student in the lesson in class, so we can call this form vertex form. Why vertex form? Because the coordinates of h and k are going to give us the coordinates of the vertex of our quadratic equation, which means that imagine if a quadratic equation is like this, so this point is called vertex. That's why we call this form vertex form, because it's gonna give us the coordinates of this point, the location of that point, which is h and k. So by knowing h and k, you can easily graph a quadratic equation. All right. So let's just go back to the left side and follow the steps. The first step says that the coefficient of x squared. Always before diving deeply to like making completing the square, we need to make sure that the coefficient of x squared is 1. If it was not 1, we need to make it 1. How? By taking that coefficient as a common factor from only the x terms, not the constant term. So only x term. How many x terms do we have? Usually we have got 2 x terms. All right. So as you can see here, the coefficient is 1. The coefficient of what? Of x squared. As you can see here is 1. So we are allowed to go to the second step. The second step says that divide the coefficient of x by 2. That is fixed. Always you need to divide it by 2 and then power it by 2. Whatever you got, add it and subtract it to the equation. So teacher, I did not understand it. Can you give us an example? Absolutely. So here x squared plus 6x plus 7. The question is, turn this quadratic equation into this form. How are we going to turn it? So just follow me. So the first step, we said that check the coefficient of x squared. If it was 1, no problem, go to the second step. So here is 1. So let's just go to the second step. Second step says that divide the coefficient of x by 2. So let's just divide it by 2. We are going to get 3. Then power it by 2. We will get 9. Whatever you got, you need to add it and subtract it to the equation. So x squared plus 6x nur plus 9 minus 9 plus 7. I get used to call them my students. So Nur is one of my actually lovely students. Surprisingly, he is here, by the way, behind the camera. He's just laughing with his friends. All right. So always the first 3 terms, always, without any exception, always the first 3 terms are going to make a perfect square form. So how? So we are going to open like a bracket, a parenthesis, powered by 2. We are going to say that, okay, this x squared comes from x times x, and that's 9 comes from 3 times 3. So we are going to take one term from here and one term from here. How are we going to determine the sign between them? By looking at the first sign of the equation. If it is positive, so inside would be with positive. If it is negative, it's going to be negative. And then negative 7 plus 7, negative 9 plus 7, negative 2. Aha. So here is the form of the vertex form, actually. At the end, I might ask you this question as well. Find the value of h and k. How are you going to find the value of h and k? Basically, you will say that always the opposite of that number that it is inside the parenthesis would become h. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3, which is h. And k is exactly the same thing out of the bracket, which is negative 2. Again, I'm going to repeat it. H is the opposite number inside the parenthesis, and k is exactly the same thing out of the parenthesis. Perfect. We have got more questions. I'm pretty sure you will get used to this. This is how we are going to convert that quadratic equation into vertex form. Yani basically this is equals to that one. But this is called general form. This one is called standard form or the vertex form. Perfect. I hope that it is understandable till now. We have got some questions here. All right. So let's go back to the steps. I will remind you the steps, by the way, during the solution of the questions. The first question is 2x squared plus 8x plus 5. As you can see, the coefficient of x squared is not 1. So just focus and pay attention. How are we going to make it 1? So we said that take that coefficient as a common factor from only the x terms. Yani take 2 from these 2 terms. If you take it, what will remain? X squared plus 8 divided by 2, 4x plus 5. As you can see right now, the coefficient of x squared became 1. So we can go to the second step. The second step, remember, it says that divide the coefficient of x by 2, power it by 2, whatever you got, add it and subtract it. Perfect. So 4 divided by 2, it's 2. Power it by 2, again you are going to get 4. So we need to add it in this way. Look, 2 multiplied by x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 4 all plus 5. Remember, this plus 5 is from the original question. Perfect. So what did we say recently? We said that the first 3 terms always are going to make perfect square form. Perfect. So here, let's just move here. 2 times. So x plus 2 minus 4 plus 5. How did I get this x plus 2? Remember, this x squared comes from x times x, and 4 comes from 2 times 2. So I said I will take one term from here, which is x, and I will take one term from here, which is 2. How did I realize that it is plus? Because the first sign is plus. Exactly. So right now we need to distribute these 2 on each term inside this bracket. So 2 times x plus 2 powered by 2 2 times negative 4, negative 8 plus 5. So finally, we are going to get 2 times x plus 2 powered by 2, negative 8 to positive 5 equals to negative 3. Why? Because the signs are different. So subtract them, 8 minus 5, 3, and take the sign of the bigger number. So I'm pretty sure everybody know that 8 is bigger than 5, right, Mohanna? So the sign of 8 is negative. So take negative as the result, in the result of the vertex form. So right now, as you can see, we got the vertex form. Don't ask me, teacher, what about these two? So these two is a coefficient. It has nothing to do with the vertex form. So it's already in vertex form right now. I might ask you, what is the value of h and what is the value of k? What did we say about them? We said h equals to the opposite number inside. What is the opposite of positive 2? Negative 2. And what is whatever is out of the bracket, it's exactly the number of the k, which is negative 3. So the opposite of inside equals to h, and the exact amount outside is the value of k, which is negative 3 over here. You can take picture from the solution. And the next question. Again, we are dealing with a question that the coefficient of x squared is not 1. So we need to make it 1. All right. So it is 3. We need to take out these 3 as a common factor from the x term. So what will remain in the first one? X powered by 2 plus 12 divided by 3. 4x minus 5. Perfect. So right now, the coefficient of x squared is 1. Remember the second step. Second step says that divide the coefficient of x by 2, power it by 2. Whatever you got, add it and subtract it. So let's just do it. 3 times x squared plus 4x. Recently we said that 4 divided by 2, it's equal to 2. Power it by 2, again give us 4. So add these 4 minus these 4 minus 5. Remember, that negative 5 is originally from the question. So it should stay until the final step. Perfect. Okay, so it's equals to, always the first term will make what? Perfect square form. So 3 times x plus 2 powered by 2 minus 4 minus 5. Remember, x squared is x, 4 is 2, 2. So take 1x, take 1, 2. What is the sign here? Plus. So inside the bracket would be plus. So right now, we need to distribute these 3 on each term inside the bracket. 3 times this bracket itself. Do not go and multiply these 3 by the terms inside this bracket. Why? Because there is a power over on this bracket, and you cannot distribute that 3 to inside this bracket. Because there are some people, there are some students who make that mistake, that they multiply this 3 by x. They are going to say that, okay, 3x, 3 times 2, 6. Then how about the power of 2? That's why if I see such a result, directly I will give you 0. With my all respect to you. I'm talking about my students. So don't make that mistake. Whoever is not my student over there, don't make that mistake, please. 3 times negative 4, negative 12, minus 5. So finally, we are going to reach 3x plus 2 powered by 2. Negative 12 with negative 5 equals to, when both of them are negative, or it's better to say that when we have got the same signs, in addition by the way, not in multiplication, add them, but still keep the sign. So 12 plus 5, 17, but keep the sign, negative 17. Right now, this is what we call vertex form or standard form. In case if I ask you what is h and what is k, so h is the opposite of inside, which is negative 2. And k is exactly the same thing outside, which is negative 17. In case, if I ask you, graph this question, don't say, oh, it's a difficult question. No, it's not. Actually, this vertex form is going to make the graphing easier. How? Make a coordinate plane like this. Find this vertex, -2. By the way, h rules as x and k rules as y. So on h-axis, go for -2. -2 means go to left side. Imagine -2 is here. And -17 on k means go down for -7. So imagine -17 is here. So if you just intersect these two, continue these lines, they will intersect each other at this point. This is what we call the vertex of our parabola. Parabola is the graph of the quadratic function. So this is going to be the graph. Recently, we needed to make a table or know the transformations rule, but in vertex form, by finding only the vertex, the location of the vertex, you can easily graph the parabola, which is the equation. Perfect. You can take a picture, by the way, before I erase it. All right. What if we go to the next slide? Let's see whether it is new topic or still the questions from, still questions from standard form in completing square. Before I solve these questions, just stop the video and try to solve it by yourself. Then compare your solution with mine. Perfect. So the first one and the second one. In the first one, the coefficient of x squared, is it 1 or something else? Tell me. It's 1. Since it's 1, we are allowed to go to the second step, Noor. So what does the second step say? It says that divide the coefficient of x by 2, power it by 2, whatever you got, add it and subtract it. Okay, let's just do it. So 8 divided by 2, it's 4. Power by 2, 16. So x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 16 plus 20. Okay, the first 3 is going to make a perfect square form. What is it going to be? X. What is the square root of 16? 4. What is the first sign? Minus. Powered by 2. Negative 16 or positive 20? Equals to? The signs are different. Subtract them. 20 minus 16. 4. Keep the sign of the bigger number. 20 is bigger than 16. Don't tell me that 16 is bigger than 20. Okay, so plus 4. So Roger, if I ask you what is h and what is k, I am pretty sure that you will tell me that h is the opposite of inside. What is the opposite of negative 4? Positive 4. What is the exact thing like amount outside? Positive 4. So in case, if I ask you to graph it, you are going to say that, okay, on x-axis, go 4 units. On go 4 units to right. On y-axis, go 4 units up. Here, that's going to be the graph. How am I going to see that like it's face up or face down? Since here the sign of x squared is positive, so it's face up. If it was negative here, it's going to be something like this. And I hope that it is understandable. Let's move to the next question. Before doing the completing square, we need to write it in order. You're welcome. So move this x squared to the beginning and move this 6 to the end. So reform it from the highest exponent to the lowest exponent. So it's going to become x squared plus 12x plus 6. Is the coefficient of x squared 1? Yes, it is 1. So let's move to the second step. The second step says that divide the coefficient of x by 2. 12 divided by 2, it's equal to 6. Powered by 2, 36. So we need to add this 36 to the equation and subtract it as well. So x squared plus 12x plus 36 minus 36 plus 6. The first 3 will make perfect square form, which is x plus 6. How did I get it? X comes from like x times x. 36 comes from 6 times 6. So I will take one x from here, one 6 from here, and the first sign is positive. So the sign of the sign of inside would be positive. Negative 36 plus 6, negative 30. So right now this is what we call the standard form, or you can call it vertex form. Perfect. So what is going to be the value of h? Opposite of inside, which is negative 6. And k is, of course, negative 30. And if I'm gonna graph it, it's going to be something like this. Negative 6, let's say it's here. Negative 30, let's say it's here. So if you join them, this is going to be the vertex of our parabola. Perfect. I hope that it is clear till now. That was about the standard form. How we need to convert a quadratic equation from the general form to vertex form, or let's say standard form according to the book. Okay, the next part of our all right, that is the electricity. So let's just go back to the video. I'm not going to actually stop the video. So yeah, let's just wait. Yes, we just came back. All right. So we solved these two questions, and then we were about to go to the second part of our lesson, which is actually most important part of this lesson, solving quadratic equation using completing square methods. We already studied the first two steps. It says that if the coefficient of x squared is 1, so go to the second step, which is dividing the coefficient of x by 2, then square it. After that, add it and subtract it to the equation. If it was not 1, we need to take it as a common factor from only the x terms. That was about these two steps. The third step says that rearrange the equation which make a perfect square of the x term in one side and move the remaining constant to the other side. Then by taking square roots from both sides, find the solution. We are going to solve some questions in order to make these three steps clear. You might tell me, teacher, what is the difference between like the first part of the lesson and the second part of the lesson? The first part was about converting of like quadratic equation from general form to vertex form or standard form, let's say. It was like not asking you to solve it, to find the value of x. But whenever it says solve it, the word of solve, whenever the word of solve is coming, you need to realize that you should find the value of the unknown variable that you have. For example, here we have got x. So we need to find out at the end that x equals to, for example, something. All right. That is the meaning of, the difference between the first part and the second part. So it says solve the given quadratic equation. Another simple difference is in vertex form, there is no equals to 0. But whenever it's about solving, we need to equalize the equation to 0 and move everything to the one side, and the other side must be 0. Perfect. So here, x squared minus 6x minus 7. Again, let's go back to the steps. The first step says that the coefficient of x squared must be 1. If it is if it was not 1, we need to make it 1 by taking that coefficient as a common factor. So here, x squared minus 6x. It's 1. Go to the second step. The second step says that divide the coefficient of x by 2. So 6 divided by 2, 3. Powered by 2, 9. Added and subtracted, and see what you are going to get. So the first 3 always makes perfect square form, which is x minus 3. How did I know it? Powered by 2, by the way. If you expand this one, you are going to get this. First term powered by 2. 2 times first times second, negative 6x. And negative 3 powered by 2, positive 9. Okay. So So this x squared comes from x times x. I took 1x. This 9 comes from like 3 times 3. I took 3. And since the first sign is negative, so inside this, it's going to be with negative. Negative. What will remain? Negative 9 minus 7. Same sign. So add them, keep the sign. Add them, keep the sign. 9 plus 7, 16 equals to 0. There are actually different ways to solve this one. Either you can use like difference between two squares, or move this negative 16 to the other side. As you can see here, it says that move the remaining constant to the other side. Then by taking square root from both sides, find the solution. So move this negative 16 to here. We are going to get x minus 3 powered by 2 equals to 16. Take square root for both sides. What are we going to get? These two will kill this one. X minus 3 equals to either positive 4 or x minus 3 equals to negative 4. From here, x would be, move this negative 3 here, so x would be 7. That is one of the value of x. And from here, we are going to get x equals to negative 3 again comes to here, it's going to become positive 3. So negative 4 plus 3, negative 1. These are the values of x. Why did we get like two values? Because it's quadratic equation. Whenever quadratic equation equals to positive number, so here 16 is positive. Whenever the perfect square form equals to a positive number, we are going to have two solutions. If it equals to like a 0, we have one solution. If it equals to negative, we have got no solution. Perfect. The next questions are here. Okay, solve the given quadratic equation by using completing square. As you can see, the coefficient of x squared is not 1. There are two ways actually. Either you can take these 3 as a common factor from the x squared minus 12 divided by 3, it's 4x, close bracket, minus 15 equals to 0. Then right now, make the square like completed. 3, complete the square. So x squared minus 4x. What is the coefficient of x? 4. Divided by 2, 2. Powered by 2, 4. Added and subtracted. Minus 15 equals to 0. Minus 15. So the first 3 is going to make a perfect square form, which is 3 times x minus 2 powered by 2 minus 4 minus 15 equals to 0. So distribute this coefficient outside. So it's going to become 3x minus 2 powered by 2. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. Minus 15 equals to 0. Let's move here. So 3x minus 2 powered by 2 equals to negative 12 or negative 15, negative 27. Move it to the other side, it's going to become positive 27. Now divide both sides by 3. Yani step by step, we need to make x alone. We need to isolate x. That's why this 3 will go with this 3. 27 divided by 3, x minus 2 powered by 2 equals to 9. So if you just take square root for both sides, this 2 is going to kill this one. X minus 2 either equals to 3 or x minus 2 equals to negative 3. So from here, we're going to get 5, because if you move negative 2 to the other side, so 3 plus 2, 5. And if you move negative 2 here, we're going to get x equals to negative 1. That is one way. The second way is, take a look at this equation. As you can see, all these numbers, all these terms are divisible by 3. So 3x squared minus 12x minus 15 equals to 0. Divide the entire equation by 3. So divided by 3. Let's see what are we going to get. So these 3 will go, x squared will remain. Negative 12 divided by 3, 4x. 15 divided by 3, negative 5 equals to 0. Right now, you are dealing with an equation that it's the coefficient of x squared it's 1. So divide 4 by 2. It's 2. Powered by 2, 4. Added and subtracted. X squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 4 minus 5 equals to 0. The first 3 will become x minus 2 powered by 2. Negative 4 or negative 5, negative 9. Move it to the other side, it's going to become 9. So, here we got it here. So, after how many steps you reached here? But here, after like almost one step, we got this step. So, take the square root for both sides. These two will kill this one. So, x minus 2 equals to either 3. X minus 2 equals to negative 3. From here, x equals to 5. Same thing. From here, x equals to negative 1. So it's up to you which way you want to use. Either that one or that one. If all these terms were divisible by that coefficient of x squared, you can use that way. Otherwise, you have to use this way, which is completing a square. Okay. The next questions. Yes, we have got two more questions here. X squared minus 12x minus 36. The coefficient of x squared is 1. So go to the second step. Second step says that the coefficient of x divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. Powered by 2, 36. So we need to add 36. X squared minus 12x plus 36 minus 36 minus 36 originally from the question. Okay, the first three will make perfect square form. X minus 6 powered by 2. Now, negative 36 minus 36, I'm pretty sure you know that it's equal to negative 72. Equals to 0. Since both of them are negative, add them, but still keep the sign. Don't say 0. So move this 72 to the other side. Let's see what are we going to get. X minus 6 powered by 2 equals to 72. So we need to take square root for both sides. Let's just do it. Take square root for here, take square root for here. These two are going to kill each other because they are inverse operation. So x minus 6 equals to either, you agree that square root of 72, we can write it in this way, 36 multiplied by 2. 36 is perfect. So it's going to come out as what? As 6 square root of 2. These two will stay inside the root. So we can write square root of 72 if we simplify it into 6 square root of 2. So finally we are going to say that x minus 6 equals to positive and negative 6 square root of 2. So one time you are going to say that x equals to 6 square root of 2 plus 6. You cannot add them. Don't say it's equal to 12 square root of 2. One of them is with square root, the other one is just a number. So you cannot add them. They are not like terms. And the other x equals to negative 6 square root of 2 plus 6. One time with positive, one time with negative. Since square root of 2 is not perfect, these are the final answers, and we are going to stop over there. Okay. Next question. 10x squared minus 20x minus 30. Similar question to the previous one that we solved. Are all these coefficients divisible by the coefficient of x squared? Yes. So divide the whole equation by 10. What are we going to get? X squared minus 20 divided by 10, 2x. 30 divided by 10, 3. Equals to 0. Right now, let's just complete the square. X squared minus 2x. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 squared, it's 1. So add 1, subtract 1, minus 3 equals to 0. The first 3 always makes perfect square form. So here it's going to become x minus 1 powered by 2. Negative 1 or negative 3, negative 4 equals to 0. Move this negative 4 to the other side. So it's going to become x minus 1 powered by 2 equals to 4. Take square root for both sides. So x minus 1 equals to either 2 or x minus 1 equals to negative 2. Move this negative 1 to the other side. So we are going to reach x equals to 3 from one of them, and from the other one x equals to negative 1. Okay. These are the answers, the solutions after solving this quadratic equation by completing the square methods. And finally, this is the end of this section. So the difference between standard form and the general form. By the way, I call the standard form vertex form because we can call it in that way as well. Standard form of quadratic equation is this form: a times x minus h So a times x minus h powered by 2 plus k. H and k are the vertex of our equation, are the coordinates of the vertex of the parabola, and x equals to h is the axis of this parabola. Okay, x equals to h is the axis of the parabola. General form. What is the general form? Remember in the video, previous video that we actually recorded from like section 3 of chapter 2 to 3, we mentioned that the general form of quadratic equation is in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c. That is the general form. So how am I going to bring question from here or any other teacher? They will give you either the vertex form of the quadratic equation and ask you to turn it to general form, or vice versa. They will give you the general form and ask you to turn it to standard form. Okay. So how are we going to do it for each case? Yani, remember this, that I'm going to say that if the vertex form or the standard form was given, and ask you to convert it to general form, you need to expand it. Expand this bracket. This is the identity. We will say that, okay, first term square, x powered by 2. 2 times first, 2x times second, so 2x times 5, 10x plus the second term square, 5 powered by 2, 25 minus 13. So we can simplify a little bit like here, x squared plus 10x 25 minus 13, it's equal to 12. You see, that is the general form of that quadratic equation that it is written in vertex form. I mean, these two are the same, but this one is called standard form, this one is called general form. How about here, if the general form is given and ask you to find the standard form, completing the square. So we need to, okay, take a look at the coefficient of x squared, it's 1. Go to the second step. So it said that x squared minus 16x. 16 divided by 2, 8. Powered by 2, 64. So plus 64 minus 64 plus 11. So finally, the first three will make perfect square form. So x minus 8 powered by 2. My question is, negative 64 plus 11 equals to what? Signs are different. Subtract them. 53. What is the sign of the bigger one? Minus. So as you can see, from the general form, we turn to the standard form. That's it. So h is equal to 8. K is equal to negative 53. That is the end of this section. I hope that it was clear, the stuff that I explained. I might be like a little bit fast because I don't want to make the videos like that much longer. Recently the students say that the videos are longer, so I decided to like explain a little bit like quickly in order to make it shorter. So that was the end, the difference between standard form and the general form. I hope that you got benefit from it, and I hope that they will be useful, especially during the final exam, that it is actually ahead, and we are about to just reach it. In 3 weeks, we will reach the final exam. So I will see you in another video. Take care of yourself and study perfectly. See you.